name is Emma Yule and this is demonstrating how to build a high shelter for the online portfolio. So first of all, I'm just going to show you around the area that I've chosen and the kit that I have. So to build a ridgeline shelter, what I've got is 2 trees a reasonable distance apart. I have got a long rope that I'm going to use to make my ridgeline. I've got some guy ropes just to help secure it if it was windy. And then over here I've got tarpaulin and I've got a couple of weighty logs just to help with weighing this down. Okay, so if I was teaching this to children, they would, I might model a few knots for them. It depends how you want to challenge them. You can either show them how to build a shelter and they can copy you, or you could give them the challenge of building a shelter and they make it up as they go along. They do, however, need to have some scaffolding about the types of knots that they would use. So I would demonstrate them. I would also model how I might expect it to look. So we're going to start over here with our first knot, which is called a timber hitch. So we have our 2 ends of the ropes. We'll call this one the short end and this one the long end because it's longer. We're going to wrap it round. Now the short end does all the work. So it goes over the top of your long end, back through the hole, then it goes back on itself 3 times. Once, twice, and 1 for good luck. There we go. And we pull that nice and tight so your timber hitch will hold that ridge line. And we take it across here. Now this is quite a little one, it's a dinky shelter, but about 1 metre away we are going to do a figure of 8 knot. So we make a loop and we're going to twist it and pull it through. So you end up with a nice figure of 8 knot, approximately 1 metre away from your shelter, should you have a slightly larger gap between your trees. Wrap the long end around your tree at the same height, otherwise you'll have a wonky ridge line, and you are going to put the end through that hole. There we go. So the long one feeds through that figure of 8 knot. There we go. Start to look a little bit like we might have a ridge line. Okay, so you come all the way back round here. You might want to come round so you can see. There we go. Hi. So from here, we go all the way over until we've got to come around this side, sweetie. Done it backwards for you just to make it difficult. All the way around till we've got a little bit of a triangle there, and we come up through that triangle like this. There we go, and it pulls back on itself into a locking knot like that. You can see it's under. Then to lock this off, pop it through with a loop. We can lock it off with a clove hitch. It's got a bit saggy. There we go. Lock it off with a clove hitch. Okay, so once you've got your ridge line for your shelter, the next step to do is just to tidy up a little bit. So we'll lock that off and we will get rid of any excess rope. Took that away. Right, with my tarpaulin, we're going to pop it over the top, like so. This is quite a dinky tarpaulin, quite dinky trees. There we go. If you want to come around the back, Kevin, I am going to weight down the back of my shelter with my logs that I had pre-prepared. So we get, there we are, a nice angle like that. Now I will have checked the wind direction to make sure it's not going to blow away, and made sure that my shelter's facing the right direction. So you can see under there, look, got a lovely little bit of space. Okay, let's secure this with some guy rope. So this is just a little bit of string, and we'll pop it through the eyelets. There we go. Tie that on. Might use a reef knot, you never know. And find some suitable trees around which to secure my shelter. Now because I'm working on my own, I'm just going to leave that like that for a minute and do this one. So don't pull it too tight, too fast. So again, through the eyelet, little reef knot there. Going all the way over here now, on this tree. There we go. So, might even throw in another jazzy timber hitch for you. You never know. That's it. Need longer arms. There we go. 1, 2. Okay, now I can finish off this other one. Alrighty, so come and join me in my shelter. So, with the children, if I was getting them to do this, I would model a version of this, and then I suppose I would challenge them to find a suitable area in which to work together using their communication, their team building skills to pick a suitable spot, put it together, so work together on understanding the knots. In the first instance, the knots are not so important. It's about that kind of constructing that knowledge together, and my role as a forest school leader might be to pop in and just remind them about the correct way to do the knots, or maybe a more successful way, or offer them some strategies to maybe change the shape or direction of the shelter if they're struggling with things like the wind and the rain.